Hello. Welcome to our conversation this afternoon. I'm the headmaster of Epsom International School. My name is Matthew Brown, and this afternoon I'm here with a family who have joined us back in 2019, and we're just going to have a conversation about their experience of working with us at Epsom International School. So we're joined by Tiha, Dawish, Ismail, and Linda. As it happens, they are a family that work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But actually, I think really we're just going to talk about experience for yourselves as a family rather than your particular experience relating to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Can I first of all say thank you very much to all of you for giving up your time to have a chat with us this afternoon. So my first question would be, how was it that you ended up, you didn't get a choice perhaps, I don't suppose, here and there. So if I talk to you as parents, how did you end up choosing Epsom International School as the school for your children?
Actually, it's not in the plan at all. But a rep from Epsom came to my office in Colombo. I was in Colombo, Sri Lanka at the time.
A rep from our school came to visit you in your office?
Yes. Gosh. Yes. Apparently, he was there doing marketing for Sri Lankans to send their kids to Epsom here in Malaysia. And he came to the office and we talked about the school, and he invited me to see the school and spend a few days. Then the rest is history.
It is to you, but everyone else watching. So what happened next? So you met with the rep at the office.
We came back for a holiday, short holiday.
Yes.
And I was surprised because he was keep on mentioning like we should go and visit the school.
We should call him. Oh, okay.
And just go there and visit the school. And we were like, okay, we have time, a little bit time before. I think before we went back to so we went there, and then we managed to meet the previous headmaster.
Okay. So that was the visit when you came to the school. Did you see me that day as well?
Yes. And then we are so fortunate because he's calling you and to join the meeting. That's how we met Mr. Brown. And then from there, we have this small conversation. Yeah, and then you were talking with Tiha. Yeah,
I do remember we were downstairs in the main sort of reception area of the school, weren't we? And we were talking. Yeah. And I think I remember at the time you were in the school, then in Colombo, and in Colombo there you were a bit unhappy at the school. Is that right? Okay. So what advice did I give? I can't remember. What was it? It was a little while back.
You remember?
I remember, and I was single. So when we came, actually, it was not in the plan actually to meet you at that time.
No.
But you were there.
Because what was the plan was for you to stay working in Sri Lanka,
in Sri Lanka,
and the children to stay in their schools.
Yes, and then Tiha was not very happy there, and then she was demotivated there, and then she was not herself like few weeks before. So we realized that when we were in Colombo, we're thinking how to improve that. And then it's like when we came back to visit the school and met you, that's how it started. Yeah, and then you suggested that Epsom will try their best to accommodate us and then to assist Tiha to be as confident as she was before and all that. And then you were having this conversation with her, and you said that for the benefits of the children, why don't you just come back for a while and then just see everything, if everything's working out.
Make the move sooner rather than later.
Yes.
I think if I remember rightly, it's because you started your IGCSE courses, and we thought it was important not to leave it too long, because obviously it might become more difficult to make a move across if you were to leave it later and later.
You promised.
I promised.
You promised.
And it's very convincing. You said that let us help Tiha and Dawish. And because, as a parents, we believe that a great education and then from the teachers also will help our children, to be better.
I'm a parent of 2 boys myself, and I know it is very, very important. I know when we've spoken before, it's been emotional at times because it is important.
I'm trying to hold my emotional now. I'm emotional because it's very, it's like the most gratitude, and I'm very thankful for Epsom, for you and the teacher and the staff, because they are really, really assisting us in this matter, because it's very hard for us. We move every year to
maybe every 2 years or
yes. So Epsom really makes us feels like home, and then they really welcome the children, and then they're very comfortable at the school, and Tiha really blossom.
Yeah, I love the word blossom. It is like coming to a school and you're a tight flower, and then hopefully over time you actually the flower opens up, isn't it? That when the flower opens up, we've got it right.
Yes.
Tia, are you willing to answer a couple of questions?
Of course.
What do you think then? How would you describe the difference between being in that previous school and being in Epsom? What was the difference?
I think the main difference is the atmosphere of the school, because in the previous school it was very demotivating and lots of negative things, and students tend to focus more on the negative aspects of the school, which kind of shows how there are more negative things in that school and how it outweighs all the positive things. But then when I came to Epsom, everyone was like, oh, so excited for this class. We have a test, but everyone's like excited to get it over with.
Excited
And just that whole switch to that mood was something I wanted to look for in a school.
How quickly did it take before you felt, oh, this is okay? Because you must have been nervous, because you thought, oh no, what if it's the same experience again? I just feel worse. How quickly did you start to feel, no, this is okay. I'm feeling all right. I feel like this is the right place to be.
I think the first day of school.
Really? That quickly?
Because of the students, they were very welcoming. Even if I sit in the back of the room, they'll be like, "Come sit here. Why are you staying there alone? Just sit next to us." And then to see other students put in that effort for new students, it made me want to put effort to get to them.
Tell me someday, who was particularly kind, perhaps, on this first? Gendis? Yes, okay. And maybe other students like perhaps, and Tara and people like that. They say, oh, okay, fine, okay. Well, that's very good to hear. And yourself, Dawish, did you feel welcome from the first day?
Yes, when I first arrived at school, the first thing I saw through the front door of the classroom, everyone was greeting me and saying hi to me.
Really? Oh, that's great. Okay. Did you make some friends quickly?
Yes.
Who did you make friends with quite quickly?
I made friends with Gianna, Ethan, and Evan.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Are they still with you in your classes?
Yes.
Excellent. That's really good to know. That's very good. Okay. And then for you as parents then, did you feel that sense of relief quite quickly? So obviously then, Tia would have come home from school the first day and you'd have asked me, how did it go? Did you feel that sense of relief quite quickly?
Because I came back with the kids first. So it's like, it's nervous for me because, I expect high expect.
Yes. Yeah.
So and then I was thinking like, is it a good move for them? Is it the right move and all that? And then after I saw Tiha, after even a few weeks, and then she changed. She changed that she wants to be involved more. And then before I saw that the comments with that, it's like she's not involved in the class. Right? She's not involved. She doesn't participate.
Okay.
That's the most of the comments, and I was worried because she was not like that before. And when it came to Epsom, I was looking for that kind of comments. It's not there anymore.
And also in the previous school, was Tia sort of almost like reticent to go to school, or Mum, do I have to go to school today? Can I stay at home today?
Yeah.
I don't feel very well today. Can I? All those things were happening.
Really worried us so much. And then this school, she participated. She gave her opinion and ideas and all that. So she changed totally at Epsom. So to a very, very positive.
That's good. Now, I had the privilege of, and it was a privilege to teach Tiha as well for maths, because I had a little while away from the school as I worked in a different school. Then I came back as the headmaster back in January, and I had the privilege of teaching the Year 11 maths class. And it was a subject I hadn't taught before, but we made great progress. But I remember one day that she actually said to me, she said, so I've looked very carefully at what you taught us yesterday, and I'm not quite sure this bit's right. What gave you the confidence to be able to say, because you knew I was the headmaster, and what gave you the confidence to say, I'm going to have to say something to Sir tomorrow? What gave you that confidence, do you think?
I think it's because the teachers at Epsom, they really want you to speak up. And if there's something that you don't understand or if there's something wrong, then they do want you to say it. And then in general, Mr. Brown, he was very welcoming when it came to opinions or like, how do you work this out? Or does anyone have any answers? It's okay if you don't know, because that's the whole process of learning. I think the last sentence is the most important thing when it comes to school, is that if you don't know, it's okay, because you're there to learn. So it just boosted my confidence. Like, sir.
That's good. That's very good to hear. I'll be crying now, I think.
Yeah.
Be careful. But and I think also in my lessons, I always say that don't do the easy questions.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. If you do the easy ones, move on. Let's find something you can't do. And I think I managed to find something even I couldn't do in those, but we worked it out. And did you find that was still a useful process, even that we were finding sometimes we were finding some questions and working that for ourselves? Was that still a useful process?
Yeah, it was very useful because it challenged us to go outside of our comfort zone in terms of that subject.
Were you worried though that I might say, "How dare you question my?"
No.
Fair enough. Okay, well that's a compliment that you felt that you were able to say that. And what about you as parents then? How do you feel that the Dawish and Tiha have flourished, or that were blossomed? How do you feel that they've blossomed in their time with us?
It's really means a lot as parents. I think any parents wants the kids to be positive, to love the school, to be always wants to go to school and all that, and keep telling about the teachers is this and that, so they every parents want that. So I think we got that from Addison.
For us, we made a huge sacrifice because I had to stay.
You carried on working, didn't you, in Sri Lanka while the children came back to Malaysia, right? With Linda, right? Okay.
So it was a very huge decision that we made, and I think it paid off.
Seeing this, I mean, it's
really worth it.
Yeah,
okay.
The teachers, awesome. Some of them left the school already.
Yeah.
The one that but still, Tiha really appreciate them. And then you left last time. I was so sad when I think, Mr. Brown.
But I soon realised my mistake. When
When we saw you as a headmaster, I said, that is excellent choice. Absolutely.
Okay.
An excellent choice.
That's very kind. I think for me as well, in terms of that move, and it was a very good learning experience to come away. But it's one of the reasons I came back was this word potential, and I think it's probably the potential I can see in people like Tiha and Dawish, that the school has this enormous potential to be so successful because of the kind of students that we have and the facilities, and also I think the students for their enthusiasm. So, for instance, our students now have set up, I think, something like 15 different academic societies. And it's happening very quickly. Are you involved in any of those societies, Tiha? Which one are you involved with?
I recently sent an application for the Business and Economics Society.
You've sent an application.
Yeah,
it's that formal, is it?
Yeah.
What have you had to do?
I just had to fill out a Google form and then state what role I'm interested in. And I went for designer in terms of putting it on social media.
Right. I was impressed as well with the presentation in the assembly this week. They were all beautifully designed, weren't they? That's right. So have you got some ideas for the Business Society?
Probably, it's all growing in mind.
Okay. And this week we've had a couple of very good speakers, haven't we? Come and Dr. Sari Kamura came in one, and then this week we had Mr. Gareth Lim. Fascinating. But I'm looking, it was the boys who did the interviewing this week, so we're looking for the girls to interview next time. So maybe that might be you, Tia, to do some interviewing. You never know. Maybe. You'll see. You want to do the design, but you watch out. When you volunteer for something, we might push you to do something that you hadn't even thought of before. What are your favourite memories of your time in Epsom? We'll go with Dowish first. What's your favourite thing that you've done, would you say, at Dowish in Epsom?
My favorite memory was when the amount of friends I was able to make at school.
Okay. And feel like you can look forward to coming into school then each day because you're just going to be spending time with your friends?
Yes.
Okay. And yourself, Tia? You can't say friends now because Dowish just said friends. So you've got to come up with something else. What would be your favourite element of the time at Epsom?
I think it would be class-wise, like sitting down and learning new things in class, being in a very nice environment, and
feeling safe, perhaps.
Yes.
When I say safe, I mean feeling academically safe, where you can ask questions. You don't worry about feeling a bit silly sometimes or saying the wrong thing. I thought it was very good this week. We had people. We had all the school in the auditorium, and they had to take the microphone and ask questions live to the guests. And that's a scary thing to do, isn't it?
Yes.
Were you tempted to ask a question at all, Tia?
Didn't have any question in mind, but if I did, it would be a little scary. But
it would be scary, but they did it, and everyone did a great job with that. They did. What about looking forward to the future for yourself, Tia? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to more of the talks and possibly more social aspects of school, like getting to know the new classmates from year 12 and just getting to know everyone more.
Quite a few new students to get to know, isn't there, as well, isn't there? I was talking to people like Chantel and Rania and a few others, so that'd be great to make some friends with those new students as well. And also we're planning, the thing that when we interviewed students, the thing they miss the most is the social activities because of COVID. So we're going to be very soon as we can, and as soon as we have those guidelines especially that we want to get those social activities happening. And often they're led by the sixth form, so that would be something for you to contribute to there. Yeah, that's great. Okay, the other thing is the future. Do you think the school is getting you ready for the future? What do you think? Perhaps that's probably more because you've got a few more years left in school, Dowish. But for yourself, Tia, you've only got 2 more years left in school. Do you think we're helping to make you ready for that, for the future?
100%.
How do you think we're making you ready for that?
Because we bring in, school's able to bring in guest speakers for talks, and also when it comes to university, there's some webinars and things like that. And then in general, if you have any questions regarding a subject that you want to take as a course, you can go to any teacher and just say, "Sir or Miss, how is it like taking this course?" Yeah.
Would you, maybe 2 years ago, been able to have sat there and answer my questions like this with such confidence?
I think I'd be hiding in my bed.
Yes.
You'd be hiding. No way, no, I don't want to. Really? Do you think?
Yeah.
What's the difference then? How are you able to do that? Because that's very important, isn't it? So to have that confidence, because we've got the cameras in front of us and we're in a strange room.
Yes, that's right.
Where does that confidence come from, do you think, to be able to do that?
I think because the school and my friends and the teachers, they give us the opportunity of standing up on your own, but at the same time being a pillar of support. So if we do stand up and stumble along the way, it's okay. So I think just having that main idea in mind and saying, it's a learning process, everyone has to start somewhere, really made me confident in some way.
Okay, I think that's where that word blossoming comes in, because flowers are quite delicate, and you want them to blossom, so you've got to treat them gently and help them to be able to blossom in that way. What about yourselves as parents? Do you feel that the senior leadership of the school or the people that you need to get in touch with, are they accessible? What have you found in terms of communicating with the school?
Yeah, I think we do find it. The school is very, very helpful to us, and it's always there to answer our questions, always responsive, and especially we do have our concerns. And I think the school has been doing very well in that regard. I think.
And yourself, perhaps with the HMM as well, perhaps sometimes, is that is also useful, with the housemaster or the house mistress?
It is very helpful. And then every time we email them or even in WhatsApp, sometimes I was like, can I WhatsApp them or not? But then when I WhatsApp, it's like 15 minutes after that.
Well, we know Malaysia works on WhatsApp, doesn't it?
Yes.
Most things are done through WhatsApp.
Is it disturbing them? But no, it's really fast. They answer and then they always get the right answer for us and try to assist us in many ways.
Yeah.
But for us, actually, as working parents and then the most important thing is for the children to be safe at school. And then working or even not for a working mom, and it's just like when you think your children at school, and then you don't have to think about what they're doing, and then like do I have to pick them up now or what? But because the school already have the plan and activities for them the whole day.
Yes. Oh yes, of course, with the CCA at the end of the day as well.
So it's really helpful for us. And our mind will focus to whatever from morning until 4 that time.
Yeah.
Whereas in your previous school, you might have been texting to say, "I'm happy, I want to come home."
Exactly.
And
So this is like really good for parents and for children also to focus.
Okay. And a quick question: what's been your favourite subject? Would you say, Dawish? What's the subjects you're enjoying the most? Your maths. Excellent. Who's your maths teacher? Miss Pillay, yeah, she's great. She also teaches business as well. Yeah, she's a very good teacher. What are you enjoying the most at the moment, Tina?
I think chemistry.
You jumped. You were doing history and then you moved to chemistry. Why? What made you do that? Make that move?
Because we have been really dedicated to the subject for 2 years and possibly even more. And I enjoy both history and chemistry, but I think my love for chemistry takes me further.
Really? So where does that come from, though? Because a love for a subject, is it just from the reading that you've done, or is it something else?
I think just the whole theory behind chemistry itself is really interesting.
Okay. And has any of your teachers kind of changed the way you were going? So maybe in your mind you were going to go in one direction, and then because of your teacher you're thinking, actually, I might do something else a bit different. What about you? Maybe for yourself, Dawish?
They support us with our problems.
Yeah, okay, that's important, isn't it? That is important. What about you, Tia? Has there been any change in direction?
Yeah.
Yes. I think
Just a story with that.
You have a story? Okay, go on then, share the story. Share the story.
I think the person that I should mention is Mr. Brown himself.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Just in general, to have a very fun and outgoing class and have that teacher that's really supportive. I thought to myself, what if I go into the teaching route? Because if I were a teacher, I think I'd want to be a teacher like Mr. Brown.
That's very, very kind. That is the most kind. And I'm only a teacher because I had a special teacher. And my special teacher was Mr. Clive Thomas. He was my physics teacher. And I had the very fortunate, I was able to meet with him years later. And I was able to thank him and tell him how important he'd been. So I understand how very important it is. And I'm very, very flattered, Tia. I'm very grateful to you for sharing that. That's very kind of you indeed. And if anything, that's what I always like it to hear, that students are thinking they might want to be a teacher one day because the teacher has made a difference to them. So that's very, very kind. Thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would just like to say? We're going to bring this little part of our interview to a close. Is there anything else that people would want to say that we may not have covered, or anything in particular?
I think it should. For all the parents that they have to know that apps really. I'm not talking about just one part of the parents. It's just like for the whole family, because like us, we move from country to country and all that, and then to find a good school, a great school for them, and then for us not to worry about them because they are with the great teachers, and then with all the assistance given by the absent staff, management, teachers, and all that, and of course, awesome.
No, sorry,
so it's really means a lot for us as parents, and
I think as a school, we've been trying to boil it down. What is it that we're trying to do? And we got it down to these three words that we want to nurture. We want to help them to blossom. We want to make sure that education is of very high quality. And then the other part, which is about to do with the societies and teachers doing the extra part, is the inspiring part of it. So to nurture, to teach, but also to do that extra, which is to inspire. And I think what I'm hearing from the conversation this afternoon, we may have done those quite well with yourself, Tia, and Darish, you're still on that journey of finding your way, because you're still, how old are you, Darish? 11? 12? 12. Yeah, okay. So you can look up to your big sister and as going forward.
We are inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an extra effort for all the students and all that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Actually.
No, well, thank you. It's so lovely to hear that, and our aim is that every teacher is able to give that same confidence and enable those students to grow that way. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your thoughts and your experiences. It's been very helpful. I hope it's helpful to the people that maybe get to watch this presentation. And we look forward for Tihan in 2 years now doing our A-levels. I look forward to passing you your results and then you jumping up and down. Indeed, absolutely. And for you, Darius, to see you grow from being a young person, a young boy, if you like, to becoming a young adult. So that would be our pleasure and privilege. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.